welcome, viewers, to another edition of Working Together, a program of Working Together Jackson and Working Together Mississippi, which is a community organizing institution, and we welcome you to this program. I'm Bishop Ronnie Crudup, Diocese Bishop for the Fellowship of International Churches and also Senior Pastor of New Horizon Church International here in Jackson, Mississippi. And exciting to be here with each one of you, and I certainly hope and pray that you are having a good day today. We're thankful to God. So listen, as I said, this is a program of Working Together Jackson and Working Together Mississippi, and we are a solutions-oriented group, okay? We're not a gripe group. We're not a complaint group. We're about solutions. So, everybody that comes and joins, because this is a membership organization, it is an organization of organizations. When organizations come and actually join Working Together Jackson or Working Together Mississippi, then they come because they've got some concerns, some needs, some things that they want to see changed, and they come and join us because we're about solutions, okay? And so that's one of the tremendous and great things about this. And I want to encourage any church that's out there, any mosque that's out there, any synagogue that's out there, any neighborhood association that's out there, any significant institution that is out there to come and join us at either Working Together Jackson if you're in Metro Jackson, or Working Together Mississippi if you're anywhere across the state of Mississippi. We've got affiliates in other states, in Louisiana and Alabama and Georgia, all across the country. We are a part of what is called the Industrious Area Foundation, and so we can get you to hook up if you're in other parts of the country out there. And you can join one of these groups and begin to see change, because what we talk a lot about in this work, too, is change and how you make change, because we teach people, okay? We teach people how to make change, and the way you really make change is by developing power, because power is the ability to make change. And so we teach people to develop their own power by organizing people, by organizing money, okay? Organizing themselves to be able to make a difference in your particular locale. The great thing, too, about this kind of work is that this work is not top down. This work is bottom up. And so the agenda for this kind of work is developed, frankly, out of the membership and not from people who are, if you will, board members or officers or even the, in our particular group, the organizer, him or herself, okay? But that agenda is actually developed from amongst the membership, because people that are a part of this come with their particular concerns, things they want to see change, and they bring that to the table. And no doubt, a lot of times there are others who want to see something similar, or we may have already dealt with something like that with somebody else, and so we use the best practices from that particular example to be able to help in that particular circumstance. So it works, okay? One of the great things about Working Together Jackson and Working Together Mississippi is it works, okay? We change things, and so, hey, really excited about that. So that's what we're pushing. Well, listen, appreciate everybody watching today and viewing here today. And it's kind of just me. Sometimes there are other people that are out there, and all of us, I want to address something that all of us are feeling. We're feeling Buffalo and the massacre of what happened there in Buffalo with that domestic terrorist. Now we're feeling the disaster, the massacre of what happened in Uvalde, Texas, with that domestic terrorist that occurred there. And I want to talk a little bit about that because, once again, we're solution-oriented, okay? And we help people deal with the obvious. And that's a good article. And, in the midst of all of this, it's good to to do a lot of reading and listening to what other people have to say, and was reading a really good article. In fact, it's a great article to me, and I want to suggest it to you. It's written by a lady by the name of Heather Cox Richardson. So Heather Cox Cox and then Richardson, Richardson, from Letters from an American. Okay, Letters from an American, and you can find her at Heather Cox Richardson at substacks.com. So that's substack.com. And she wrote. To me, it's not only well written. It's a great article about the NRA and about the National Rifle Association and about particularly Republicans and the agreements that have been made and why we are where we are. I mean, because if you don't understand the rationale behind these decisions, then you don't understand this, because to all of us it's crazy. Come on, shouldn't we be choosing children over people's quote rights? Okay, but when you read an article like this and talk about the history of the NRA and where they come from being frankly a sports group and was all about just sports shooting and all of these kind of things like that, to a place now that they're more about the insistence on the Second Amendment rights to carry, and what they have been, it was stated, what they were willing to be able, if you will, to suffer to keep those rights intact. And they understood that from the very beginning, then it was going to cost lives. They understood that there was going to be a lot of hurt and pain in it, but they were willing to sacrifice, listen to this, they were willing to sacrifice other people's lives to be able to keep in place, if you will, their rights. And it also gives a good history of, once again, of Republicans in the midst of this and the Republican Party in the midst of this, and how they got to the place that they've kind of become the main political group that espouses so much Second Amendment rights. And so it's a really good read, because I need folks to remember too that there are Democrats out there too that once again strongly support Second Amendment rights, and there are Democrats even in the Senate and other places who would vote and who are receiving a lot of money from the NRA. And so you can't just toe, even though we see that more prevalent among Republicans, you can't just hold them and say it's only a Republican issue, because there are a lot of Democrats that are supporting this as well. And of course, to the rest of us, it doesn't make any sense, okay? I mean, somewhere along the way, you got to make the priority what it ought to be, and that's particularly the lives of children and lives of other people, because it is just, it is awful, what has happened in Buffalo, what has happened in Texas, also what happened at that Korean Presbyterian Church, also in California, and so with a Taiwanese Presbyterian Church, okay, and so all of these things are awful, and once again, too, if you don't recognize how many mass shootings take place in the United States now. This is not the exception. This is kind of the rule. At this point, I think we're at a place where you've got as many shootings in the country as you do days, okay, in the year. And so in this country, you've always got somebody now who is just, frankly, going insane and taking the lives of others. And anytime you take the life of somebody, it's absolutely awful. But when you take the lives of children, I was speaking to our congregation last night about this, a great word, and I would suggest that you get it, because I talked about, and the title of the message is, what is your complaint? Okay, what is your complaint? Because we're all going through something. And in John 16:33, then Jesus says, in this life you shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I've overcome the world. And so all of us are going to go through things in life. But what is your complaint? In light of the fact of what you're going through, what is your complaint, and what are you going to do about that complaint? Now, this young man in Buffalo took his complaint and traveled, 2-3 hours from his home, and went on a racist tirade and killed a lot of folk. Okay, that's how he dealt with his complaint. This young man in Texas, and I talked about the fact that if you look at this, there are some similarities in the fact that both of these are 18, 19-year-old young men. One is white in Buffalo. The one in Texas looks to be Hispanic or Latin. And so, what is his complaint? Certainly it wasn't money, because they took money to buy all of these weapons in Buffalo. But by the way, it took money to buy all of these weapons and the amount of ammunition that this young man also had in Texas, okay? So money didn't seem to be the issue or the complaint of either one of them. It's other things, okay? And then the young man in Texas, he also shot his grandmother. And as one brother said to me, he said, man, come on, something wrong with you when you shoot Big Mama. I mean, Lord have mercy. No less everybody else. And, of course, then he went and did something even more hideous, and that was, you kill children. Children from your own community. I mean, because the young man in Texas is from that community. I mean, the young man in Buffalo at least was somewhat from somewhere else. Neither of this is a rationale, but I mean, just from one demonic issue to another demonic issue. And I would say to you that how you deal with your complaint, frankly, means how seduced you should be. You will be. That's right. How you deal with your complaints determines how seduced you will be. Both of them were seduced by the enemy, by the devil, and gave over, and became once again, warriors of Satan, so it's a very, very hurtful thing. But this particular article by Heather Cox Richardson, I think just gives you a good understanding. And as the scripture says, get wisdom, but in all that getting, get an understanding. And I think this is very well written. And so I would suggest to you that you pull it up and read it for yourself. Once again, that's at Heather Cox Richardson. Somebody else sent this to me at substacks.com. Okay, so Heather, Heather, Cox, Cox, Richardson, Richardson, at substack.com. Okay, so no doubt that's where you can get that, and just a well-written letter that explains a lot. Because if we're going to fight this stuff, and that's what working together, Jackson and working together Mississippi is about, is helping us overcome things that need to be overcome. Then you got to know what you're fighting against. You got, come on, you got to study, if you will, the enemy, and deal with the things that are there. Have a good understanding of the thing that you are against, so that as you deal with that thing, you're dealing with it out of understanding, and you can develop a right strategy of how to take care of that. And so that's what we do, okay, in working together Jackson and working together Mississippi, okay? Now, I also want to say something about Jackson and the fact that the Jackson City Council decided not to pay Richardson for picking up trash. One of the things in the midst of this whole, sad saga too in Jackson, Mississippi over collecting garbage is that we now know Richardson can collect garbage. When we first started this argument, a lot of it was about whether or not Richardson had capacity. The black-owned company, Richardson, that collects garbage in New Orleans and also collects garbage in Baton Rouge. that was an issue of capacity, of whether or not Richardson had the capacity. Well, that issue has been settled. We know they got capacity because they've been collecting garbage in Jackson, Mississippi for well over a month. And they collect my garbage, okay? And they do it well, okay? They've not missed a beat. And so it's been proven that they've got capacity. And now the issue is, will they get paid, okay? And, of course, they submitted an invoice to get paid, and the Jackson City Council determined not to pay them. In fact, they pulled it off the agenda. Same thing, they pulled it at a 5-2 vote. They pulled it off the agenda, and so they didn't pay the man. And so that's what that is. Now, I'm going to have to go to a break, and we're going to talk a little bit more about this, but hang in there with us, okay? Working together.
Hi, I'm Q Talicia Garrett. I am here to introduce our New South Development and Training Outreach Hour every Tuesday at 2 p.m., giving you information on how to become a part of the programs through USDA and Farm Service Agency. We can be reached at 678-779-9468. We can also be found online at newsouthoutreach.com.
SocratesGarrettENT.com is a diversified firm specializing in recycled aggregates and crushed concrete. SocratesGarrettENT.com's recycled materials provide the construction industry with significant economic and environmental benefits by recycling clean concrete rubble into M.DOT grade rock materials. Recycled aggregates and crushed concrete can be applied to driveways, road construction, bank protection, parking lots, general bulk fills, and more. By using SocratesGarrettENT.com's crushed concrete products, anyone from homeowners to general contractors can help reduce landfilled concrete waste, conserve natural resources, and gain significant economic savings on materials and disposal costs. For more information, please call 601-896-0084 or visit us online at SocratesGarrettENT.com.
All right. We're back with Working Together. Bishop Ronnie Crudup here, Senior Pastor, New Horizon Church International, Diocese Bishop for the Fellowship of International Churches, welcoming you to this program. That is hosted by Working Together Jackson and Working Together Mississippi. And of course, we're encouraging organizations to join us, churches and mosques and synagogues and neighborhood associations and any group. We are a membership organization of organizations. And so, you can find us on Facebook. Just look up Working Together Jackson and find out more about us and get the number there and contact us. We'd love to have your group to come and check us out. Once a month, we will have a big meeting during lunch hour at one of our membership organizations. In fact, this past on yesterday, Wednesday, we were over at Mount Bethel, Church of Christ Holiness USA, there on the corner of Highway 80 and Robinson Road. Great time over there with Bishop Hill and others. We were there, and so next month we'll be somewhere else, but you can get that information. Love to have you to come and sit in with us and check us out and feel the spirit, if you will, okay, of good things that are happening. And remember, we're a solutions-oriented group, not a gripe group. We fix things. We help things work, okay, and get on track. And so if you're looking for an organization like that to be a part of it, if you're looking to learn how to make change in your community, we're the organization that you need to be a part of, okay? Now, before the break, then I had started talking about the fact that the city of Jackson the city council decided not to pay Richardson's Disposal, which is now our garbage contractor, because they've been picking up garbage for, I guess, well over a month now. They proved that they got capacity. They proved that they can do this job. They proved that a black contractor can do it. And so now the issue is paying the folks. And I've kind of coined a little statement, pay the black man. Hey, to all of the city council members, pay the black man. In a city for me that is 80% African American, and we're trying to see more business go to African Americans. When we get an African American contractor, pay the black man. Hey, the black man is doing the work, doing it well, and paying. Now the city council pulled that agenda off the docket this past week, and what that's going to do, no doubt, it is now a legal issue that is going to be settled in the courts, and I don't have any doubts, frankly, that Richardson is going to get paid. Okay, that's not the issue here, folks. They're going to get paid because if you do the work, you're going to get paid. Okay, but it's going to be a legal issue, and now, if Richardson wins, and I expect that they're going to win, then it's going to cost the city of Jackson more money than it typically would cost us because of now you got litigation in the midst of this when they could have just paid the man and been finished with this. But because you've got people who are entrenched on all sides here, certainly there's the mayor's side of this, and then there's the city council side of this, and because you got people not talking to one another there, hey, folks, our city is broken in terms of these relationships. The relationship with the mayor and the city council is broken, and so that's got to be fixed. It's not serving us well, and because of that, then we're dysfunctional in this city in terms of a lot of the work that needs to go on, and we got too many problems in this place to be fractured and disjointed, disorganized around city government. It is. We're in a sad circumstance, and certainly crime is just off the charts. We got still a whole lot of infrastructure issues and a whole lot of other issues, and we got people who are our main leaders, the city council and the mayor, that are fighting with one another. It does not serve us well, and so I call up on both sides, please get together, settle some issues. I know that a lot of stuff has been said that absolutely should not have been said, okay? And people, personally feel real bad about certain circumstances those places. But for the sake of the city, each one of you were elected to really deal with stuff that's beyond just yourself. I would ask you to do that so that this city can begin to work better than it is working. And so, that's where we are. But once again, pay the black man. Let me say that again. Hey, y'all grab that and everybody starts saying that. Pay the black man. Yeah, Richardson, the garbage collector. Pay the black man. We paid the multinational white conglomerate we paid them for 30 years. Now, we got a black contractor that's doing that work and doing it well. Pay the black man. Okay? Come on. Particularly for all of those city council folks that's black, even more. Hey, no excuse. Pay the black man. That's what I want to say to you. Pay the black man. And so, and if you don't pay the black man, hey, we're going to hold you accountable for this because, come on. At this point, all these other excuses honestly don't matter. Pay the black man so we can go on to the next issue, okay? We need all hands on deck when it comes to dealing with crime and the murders and all these other things, the carjackings and all these things that's happening in this city right now. We're losing out in this city, and we got to deal with things that are going. Many of you know that I'm in the center, New Horizon is in the center of a big event that's going to happen June 17th, 18th, and 19th. Juneteenth Jackson Expo is going to happen on the hill there at New Horizon Church and in our parking lot. Most of the events, particularly concerts and things like that, is going to happen on our parking lot. We're excited about this. We're excited to host everything on our parking lot. We're going to be honoring, Bobby Rush is going to be honored. Blues legend and great Bobby Rush will be honored, and there's going to be a big concert, and Grady Coleman is going to be a part of that, and a whole lot of other folks going to have some special appearances. Some folks can't call their names right now, but it's going to be off the chain, out the water, and every other kind of little saying, okay? As my grandchildren say, it's going to be bussin', okay? And so it's going to be real, real good. And so that's the 17th, 18th, and 19th. We start with a big reception on the 17th with some tailgating. I want to invite all the tailgaters to come and bring your RV up, and let's have a great weekend on that campus and in the area around us, okay? And just enjoy yourself. Bring your family. Let's have a family affair, okay? I know some of this tailgating can get out of hand a little bit, but listen, let's have come on, we're celebrating liberty and freedom in the African American community. We're celebrating family reunification because all of that was a part of Juneteenth. And so let's have a great time. Going to have a car show and all of these things like that starting that Friday. Saturday, we've got some great events happening. We got a big health fair that's going to be taking place that morning. Magnolia Health is spearheading all of that. Just a whole lineup of great health providers. Hey, you can get your shots there. You can get your boosters there, all of these things. You can get other medical-related services there. All of this stuff is free for you, so come and be a part of that. So that's going to be tremendous. The health side of that, we're also going to do some cooking shows about cooking, if you will, healthy and how to, take some of meat and all of these things like that out. So it's going to be a lot of good demonstrations, giveaways in the midst of all that. So come and be a part of that. Also, we're having a financial freedom seminar that morning as well. And listen, if you need some help in terms of housing, then that's going to be there. If you're struggling with paying bills and all of that, that opportunity is going to be there as well. So, we got a lot. And then we got a big wedding that's going to start at 1 o'clock. And so all of that's going to be a part of that. And then that night, Bobby Rush and a bunch of other folks are going to be there. And then Sunday is a Father's Day, and so a whole lineup of things, Father of the Year, all those things that's taking place. So great things that's happening. I think we got a caller. So caller, if you're there, then come on forth. Are you there, caller?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Well, yes, ma'am. You're on Working Together.
Thanks for taking my call. Good day.
Yes.
Thank you for everything that you do in the community of Jackson.
Okay.
I just want to speak on the situation with the garbage.
Yes, ma'am.
I agree with you 100%. I have not had a problem with Richard's disposal from day one.
Excellent.
My question is, the property that is across Interstate 20 from your church, the old burned down hotel.
Yes.
That's a nuisance. Now, whoever that city council person is, they need to work on getting that completely demolished.
That's in Ward 5.
I've seen where someone has taken a mobile home and placed it in the parking lot. That's an eyesore. And it doesn't look good across from you. You're across 20.
No, I totally agree.
You're on the other side.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And I think...
Keep going.
And I think that instead of bickering and fighting about a garbage and contract, we need to clean up our community. And whoever that council person is, he or she needs to be working on getting that taken care of, because that's a main thoroughfare between, in our city.
Well,
thousands of cars pass there every day. I pass there every day going to work, and it's just it's heartbreaking.
Yeah,
it's depressing, But that's all I wanted to say. But I really agree with you on that. Pay the people.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for calling.
They've been doing a good job.
All right.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Well, we appreciate that caller, and she's absolutely right. That is Ward 5. That is Councilman Hartley's ward. And so That old hotel does need to be torn down. Well, I want to commend Pearl Street AME Church. Many of you know they bought the old Holiday Inn, and if you hadn't been through there and looked, progress is happening. They've torn down the back part of that. They got a plan of actually putting a wonderful senior citizens complex on that, and so I want to commend Dr. Boyd and the board and the staff of Pearl Street. Great job, folks. Excited about what you're doing. Hey, I'm for you, and so keep that up. We need that old property there at what would have been years ago, the old Ramada Inn. That facility needs to go as well, and I'm pretty sure that there is some insurance litigation that's going on about that particular property because it was set afire at least 3 times. And the caller is right. It is an awful eyesore. And so to Councilman Hartley and others, to the folks in planning and other things for the city, let's work on that and get that down. You did a good job across the street tearing that one down. Now this one needs that as well because it is depressing. And it's keeping economic development from taking place in those places too, because who wants to come off the interstate with all of that? Okay, and so that's what it's about. And we want to see South Jackson grow. Yeah, we want to see South Jackson grow. And so we want to see all of those businesses along Highway 80 prosper, and that certainly is affecting their ability to attract customers. Because I talk to a lot of those businesses along the way there, and I know that they hear people talking about the eyesores that's there. So let's take care of something over there. But once again, working together is about helping in the midst of all of this. And as my time is running down, I'm saying to folks out there, the way that we develop the power to be able to make changes, we come together. So I want to encourage folks to come and join us in working together, Jackson, working together, Mississippi, and help us organize ourselves, once again, strengthen our power to be able to deal with whoever we need to deal with, public officials, businesses, whatever it is, groups, so that we can make the change that we want to see. And the things we've talked about, those things need to be changed. Hey, go to Facebook. You can find Working Together Jackson on there, and contact us and be a part of it. God bless your heart. Have a great day.
Advertise on WeBelieve.Global, a brand new digital media platform. Share your brand with our audience on our many global live stream TV broadcasts and over the radio. For more info, visit WeBelieve.Global or call 800-492